For this second video, what we're going to do is we're going to open up a sample part that I gave you on EduCat. So if you were in EduCat, and you would click on that sample part and it would go to your downloads folder. So you can see I'm going to go to File, Open in SolidWorks. I want to navigate to Downloads, and there it is, Part Sample. We'll go ahead and open that up. So here's our part, kind of the same things we had before: a feature tree, our heads-up display, our icons on tabs over here. We can still find our front plane, our top plane, and our right plane. And if we were to hold that middle roller down and move our mouse around, you would see that that part rotates in 3D space. And if we wanted to get it back to some standard views, we can come up here to these standard views and say, here it is from the front, here it is from the top, here it is from the isometric. Okay. Also have some contact sensitive stuff. Notice if I click on Boss Extrude, it shows you what part was made. Click on it here, click on it here. It tells you what each of those parts are. If I click these little arrows open, you can see the sketches that belong. This is really why we're looking at this part, is for you to understand that in order for a solid to appear in SolidWorks, it at first has 2D geometry. Okay, it actually starts off as a 2D sketch. So that's where our learning is going to start with SolidWorks. I'm going to go ahead and grab this blue bar and scroll it back above these two. I'm going to right click on Boss Extrude, and with that right click I get these contact sensitive menus up, and I'm going to say this second one right here says Edit Sketch. So there you can see a sketch that helps us make that solid feature. It's 4 inches by 1 inch. You can tell I'm in a sketch right here. I'm going to go ahead and leave that sketch with the blue arrow. You see it becomes a solid. If I hold this gray arrow down and click on sketch, you can kind of see where it is. So it's extruded halfway in this direction and halfway in that direction. If I were to scroll this ahead, this is obviously our next little feature, and there's the sketch that started it, and it all extrudes all in one direction. So if I were to right click on this and say Edit Sketch, I can see that sketch. So for SolidWorks, I'm going to leave this sketch right here. For SolidWorks, it's important for us to realize the 2D sketch comes first before we can make solid parts. That's all I really wanted to show you with this. I'm going to go ahead and close this sample part out so that we could start sketching inside SolidWorks. If you were to hit New, go to Enemy Start Part and hit OK. This is an empty SolidWorks sketch or a part area, and in order for us to draw on something, we would need something to draw on. So we look at these planes that are kind of transparent, but they're floating here in 3D space. We would choose a plane, like our front plane. Come over here, make sure our sketch toolbar is active. We'd say we want to start a sketch. Notice SolidWorks puts that perpendicular to us, so it's kind of like a piece of paper we could draw on there. We don't have to draw just inside this blue box. It's kind of hypothetical. This surface that we're drawing on, this invisible plane, is infinite. And so these are our drawing tools. We can draw rectangles, we can draw lines, we can draw circles. Okay. I'm going to hit Escape, so I'm just done drawing there for a minute. Notice that all these are blue. You might have some of these green dots come up. Notice this one has a green line, and if I hold it there it says horizontal. SolidWorks has attached a constraint to that. Because I drew a rectangle with the rectangle command, no matter what I do to this, that line will always stay horizontal and this one will always stay vertical. These don't have any constraints. I can do these however I want. Move them around, make their lengths different. Circle can become larger or smaller. I can drag them. Okay. These are called undefined sketches because they're blue. When we work with a real SolidWorks sketch, we're going to want to use constraints and rules and dimensions to make a blue sketch turn black. So that's kind of what video 3 is going to be about. Video 1 gave you kind of these additional icons that we had added in here and got our screen set up. Video 2 kind of demonstrated for you that 2D sketches are at the root of all of our solid parts, and we'll use video 3 to create a sketch together looking at critical points.